Hey, welcome to the JaySquared Podcast. I'm Jesoma,
I'm J-Rock.
and we have an amazing show for you guys today. It's been a while, um, and the first thing that I really do want to know from the bottom of my heart is how was your week, J-Rock?
Honestly, when you said that we were going to start, I thought you meant like just start the recording, not jump right into the podcast. So I'm
Oh,
kind of confused.
that's interesting. Are you going to
Is
answer
it?
about your week?
um, I've had better weeks.
Ah, I was actually having a really good week until
No one
like
asked.
no. What am I doing here? What am I doing?
Sure, yeah. Tell me about your week.
Well, I was actually having a really good week until like 20 minutes ago. So there goes my mental health. But hey,
Hey, join the
that's what
club.
that's what therapy's for.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to hit up my therapist in a bit. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna get back on the wheel finally. Got my insurance back, so
Shout out to insurance.
yeah. Shout out to insurance. Shout out to BetterHelp, I guess.
Hey, sponsor.
Sponsorship. We're gonna reach out. We're gonna reach out. So,
I mean, technically, I use it, so
oh well, see, and oh, so I kind of wanted to ask in front of everyone,
oh my god.
how's it been for you?
Um,
Because
my
you
first.
weren't you didn't do it at first, and then after a while you started up. So how does it feel?
My first therapist I did not like. I did like 2 sessions and it felt more like I was being the therapist instead of them. So I ended up switching to my current therapist who I've done like already I think 3 or 4 sessions with, and I think I found my person. So
That's that's always amazing to hear because it's like a shoe size, man. It's like you ever go shoe shopping and you're like, damn,
you're
this
talking
would be.
to the biggest sneakerhead. Of course I've gone shoe shopping.
No, what I was saying was it sounds so stupid. Oh, I was saying like I was gonna finish with something. I was gonna say something else.
Just move on.
You ever been shoe shopping and then you're like, damn, these are fire, just not my size, or these will look dope on somebody else. That's kind of how therapists work, man. It's like you have to find the right one. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're on your journey, man. This is really awesome. I've been hoping for this. I've been hoping that this works for you for a long time, or
Thank you.
you at least get on the wagon. But
Yeah.
definitely. So
It took some time, but I'm here.
exactly, and it's about the journey. It's about the journey, and I mean, yeah, I'm happy for you. Just wanted to get that out there. So let's
Appreciate
dive
you.
right in. So we have our sports and entertainment. The biggest name in non-championship history, KD. There's a lot of talks about him. What do you think he's
Yeah.
gonna do?
So apparently he wants to trade. He wants to get out of the Knicks.
Okay.
Not the Knicks, sorry. The Nets. It is midnight, guys, so I just let's put that out there. He wants to get out of the Nets
Mhm.
because obviously like it was a failed project. I called it since the beginning of it.
Yeah, you
Um
did.
but he wants to get out of the Nets. He wants to join another team, and apparently the two teams that he's interested in is the Heat and the Suns. But
Hmm.
the problem is that Brooklyn, they want so much more. Like they want a monumental trade, like bigger than anything the NBA has seen before, with trying to get superstar players plus first round picks plus whatever else they could get. Yeah. So I don't know how that's going to work because the Heat, it would be like if the Heat gave up Jimmy Butler, Bam, Kyle Lowry, and Tyler Hero just for KD.
Yeah, that'd be so dumb. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I think that anybody who makes that trade, that big of a trade, is, I mean, your starters are going to be washed. There's not going to be anybody to.
You
It's going
won't
to
have
be
a
the same
team.
situation. Yeah, there's just going to be KD in the same situation somewhere else in another
Mm-hmm.
state. Like
Yeah.
that's all that's going to happen. So I kind of don't understand why it's such a big deal to take all of these players. I mean, I guess a part of me gets it. Like he's one of the best scorers in the league, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
he's just not reliable. And I think that's where people get hung up, and that's why people like don't like him and shit like that.
I think what's proving him wrong is the fact that he left the Warriors to try to show everyone that he could do it without Steph. And you go with Kyrie, who's also trying to prove that he could do it without LeBron. And it's a failed experiment because you have Kyrie on his own wave doing what Kyrie wants to do. And then you have KD who tried to work with James Harden. And James Harden was like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm not dealing with Kyrie's whatever, and left to Philly.
Yeah.
So I think there's just like a lot that's going on that he wasn't really sure. And now that I mean, I knew it was gonna fail from the beginning. So
Yeah.
I'm not really surprised at all. I just think it's funny that after the Warriors won, that he wants to come out and say, "Yeah, I want to get traded out."
It's just one of those things where it's like, you're scorned and you're like, fuck, that could have been me. And
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, if KD was still on the Warriors, they would have won every championship after the ones that they won. So it's not like
I wouldn't say every. I would say they would be in the finals for sure
no, I
every
would
year.
say every. I mean, there's not a team that's going to be able to compete with literally the two best shooters because Clay was out for a couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
but the two best shooters and two best scorers. There's nothing you can really do with that. And then you have a defensive monster like Draymond. Then you have everybody else who steps up. Like you have a deep ass bench, and that's what always killed everyone. No
Yeah, but
matter.
the thing is, Andrew Wiggins wouldn't have been there
Mhm.
because he was part of the trade.
But
Jordan
Andrew,
Poole, hold up. Would Jordan Poole be able to get to the level that he's at now if KD's there? I don't think so. And I also don't think they would have gotten the draft picks that they've gotten to be at that level either. So I think it's just like, yeah, while they would have been consistently in the finals, their roster and lineup would look completely different than what it did this year.
I don't see a team that would have beat them. There's not a team that would have beat them. There's
Okay.
You get what I mean? Like, all right, hear me out. Hear me out. What team within those years in between the Warriors, like the Warriors winning with KD, and now put together structurally would have outmatched that team? There
Look,
is
I know there's a team that wouldn't. I agree with you, but any situation where LeBron is in the final is up in the air.
That's true. Okay.
And one of the seasons, LeBron was in the finals.
Yeah. I get you. I guess yeah, I can
And
see
you're
it.
the LeBron fan.
Yeah, I am. I am, and I'm sitting here and I'm admitting it. Like I'm admitting that. And but thinking about what you're saying is like, yeah, like this the way that everybody's been evolving to step up. Um, I I think that LeBron with the Lakers and the team that he had, it would have been a good matchup for the Warriors without Clay and if KD was still on it. I mean, I could see it happening, but
Yeah, because later that season, Steph also got hurt.
Yeah,
He broke his hand.
yeah, and
So,
and
and then
then
it was like his backbone, like tailbone. He also injured that too.
Jesus, what the fuck was he doing, bro?
He
Like,
fell. No, that one he fell, but the way that he fell, he hit like the side of one of the stairs.
oh,
Yeah.
a stare. Jesus Christ.
I don't know. I think that was I think that was the 2020 season. I'm not sure.
You see, like, it's just it sucks because it's like, I mean, I honestly believe KD is one of the best scorers in the league, but he can't carry, and that's just it. He can't
I
carry.
I think that I agree. I think KD is like one of the best players in the NBA as well, but I think he is worried too much about what people say instead of actually showing
Yeah.
how good he is.
Do you think that the times kind of caught up to us where, because old people are always talking shit about, us and our mental health and stuff like that, and how, we need to kind of just bite down and take it or whatever it is. Do you think that it's catching up to this new era? Because you could have a talent like KD, but if you had the mentality of like even a Kobe, where he's like, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win, that type of thing, which is what a huge mentality that a lot of people had in like the '90s and stuff like that. Do you think that he would be the best player in the world right now?
Like if he were playing in the 90s,
Yeah, like if he were playing in the '90s, because his mentality would definitely be 100% different.
I think it's a different game.
Yeah,
It's a more aggressive game, and I don't think in the 90s you could get away with a
yeah,
lot harder fouls, and I don't think how KD's like body is would be
very
able
lengthy.
to,
Yeah,
yeah, would be able to like survive a full season. But I would also think that he would dominate because at his size, to be able to do everything that he does is different and something we've never seen before either.
yeah.
But again, if it comes to mentality wise, it doesn't help that Brooklyn also has Ben Simmons. So you have Ben Simmons, who's mentally not there, and then you have Kyrie, who's just being Kyrie, and then now you have KD, who's saying, "Fuck this, I'm out."
It's a mess. It's a fucking mess.
Yeah,
I
and they
mean,
don't really have a bench or anybody else. So I'm not. I'm just saying, overall, I would not want to
I
be in
feel
that
bad for
situation.
Blake, man. I feel bad for Blake because I was watching his
Nope.
highlights with the Nets, and he was showing out with that team. He was doing very well with the team.
He had the opportunity to go somewhere else, but he was ring chasing.
What was he? Where was he trying to go, or where were they trying to take him?
I think other teams were looking at him too. I think Miami was looking at him too. And then he decided not to go. He decided to go to Brooklyn thinking that they would win something, but you can't win something with players whose mentalities are elsewhere.
But it's a skill set. Like they've all been.
They have the skills, they have the talent, but mentally they're not focused on winning a ring. They're focused on other things.
They're all. I think they're all focused too much on their legacy. That they hear me out.
I
I mean,
think
like,
if anyone's focused on their legacy, it's KD.
but I think that they're all too focused on winning something, like getting something out of it, and money and things like that. That they're not really focused that much on the
What is
game.
Kyrie looking to get out of it? What is Ben
Yeah,
Simmons looking to get out of it?
that nigga just crazy. Ben Simmons just want to sit out for this. Ben Simmons, I feel like Ben Simmons just wants to get paid to do nothing. Like that's how I feel. And I feel like the fans hurt his feelings because they said he can't shoot.
But he can't
And
shoot.
then he came back and he was shooting a little bit. And then he went back to not being shit shooting. No, he came back and then he started shooting threes and people were like, oh shit.
He made 1 3. That's not shooting threes.
Hey,
That's not shooting threes.
he
I can
but
make 1 3 in an NBA game.
hear me out. If you shoot, right, and you get that shut your ass up moment, then you should capitalize on it. But instead, they were like, whatever, fuck you still. And he's like, well, what do you guys want from me? Like he let the fans get to him. That's how I think. That's what I think
Oh
happened.
yeah, mentally he's not strong.
So I'm like, yeah, like he's really to me he's really good, but he just doesn't fit well with a Kyrie and a James Harden. Like it's
Who,
like what
KD or Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons. It's like what are you doing here? Like what are you gonna do?
Well,
There's
Ben
nothing you can
Simmons
do.
and James Harden were never going to play because that was the whole trade. Um,
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
but no, I just think Ben Simmons needs a therapist.
I think it's a therapy, but I also because mental health is important. But then you're just taking up everybody's time. If you need a therapist, if you feel like, hey, look, man, I'm just not in
I
it.
mean, he's also hurt because of the fans too. But
That's
at the same
yeah,
time, like, what do you expect from fans after years
that's
of,
what they do. It's
yeah,
what they
especially
do.
Philly fans, especially Philly
Exactly.
fans. So like, and now you're in Brooklyn.
I don't know. I don't know how somebody feels like it's gonna get better when you go to New York. Like you're in New
No,
York.
yeah,
It's
New York
just
people don't
worse.
care. Yeah, the slander is crazy.
I mean, I just feel like some people crumble under that pressure, man, and it doesn't seem like it's worth it. I mean, and I believe it's not worth it to risk your mental health for the game when you're making millions already. I mean, fuck it. Some people, not everybody has that dog in them. Not everybody's like that. Not
Yeah, that's
everybody's
true.
like that.
No, that's true. But yeah,
Sheesh.
we'll see where KD lands. But I think Brooklyn is just like a hot mess that no one wants to
Oh yeah,
touch.
100%.
So
The hottest mess.
yeah. All right, let's move on to Brittany Griner. So she's still detained in Russia. It's been over 137 days, and then she recently had her court date on July 1st. But today she ended up pleading guilty to the drug charges and could face up to 10 years in prison, Russian prison. Fewer than 1% of Russian criminal cases end up in acquittal, which is
Yeah.
shit.
Kind of throw it in there, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of, you're done. And then apparently some experts came out and they believe that the guilty plea would likely be a requirement of any prisoner swap between the US and Russia, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But she hadn't been able to get in contact with her wife throughout that time, and she also sent out a letter to the president to try to get him to move things along quicker because she's in a foreign country arrested for something as minor as drug, well, not minor, but something for that
Yeah. It
shouldn't be.
shouldn't be there for this shit. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing though. Trump's racist, but Trump would have got her out. Would have got her out just for the clout, bro. Just for the fucking clout.
I disagree
what-
because he has Russian ties.
Bro, that's what it pisses me off. You got ASAP off, got Lil Wayne out. I believe you got Kodak out too.
Yes, but this is all in America, not
No,
in Russia
A$AP
with his
wasn't in
best
America.
friend.
ASAP was in another country.
Are you sure he got out ASAP? I don't believe so.
I believe he did, yeah.
No.
I just think that I just
Look,
think that this is shitty. It's a shitty
Mhm.
situation, and I think our president's not doing shit.
No, I agree with you, but I think this plays into more than just an American being detained in Russia. Because then you add the Ukraine war, you add the fact that we've already been threatened by Putin saying, oh, if you interfere, then we're going to atomic bomb your ass. So I think more is playing a part as to why we haven't moved into it quicker.
At the same time, it's like, bro, Uganda can't show weakness when it comes to this type of shit. Like, and to me, this is showing weakness to me, because now it's like you can't let them take somebody that's yours. You just can't. It's been an American thing for a very long time.
I understand that. And while I agree, look at it in the way of, oh, well, you're an American who came to my country with drugs.
Yeah. But it's
You're gonna
bullshit.
get.
We know that
We
this is
know, we
bullshit. So
know,
that's why.
but their laws are different from ours, as you
No,
can
it's
see.
they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on fucking purpose to make
I
us
mean,
look
yeah,
like
they
bitches. That's why they're doing it, man. I'm sorry. I get upset because it's like, bro, it's like taking my sister and then just putting her and being like, no, she's mine now.
well, yeah, I mean that's what they're trying to do to Ukraine, so not surprised.
Exactly. Yo, like it's like they're trying to say, oh yeah, the drugs are very serious in our country, this and that. It's like, bro, no. It's it like to take some no. If you're gonna trade, if you're willing to trade somebody, then it must not be that serious. It must not. Like I don't
We'll
know.
see. We'll see what happens, but free Brittany Griner for
I'm
sure.
so hot right now, dog.
I mean, yeah, you're yelling into the microphone, so yeah,
I'm
chill.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right, move on. This is you.
I'm gonna turn it down. I'm gonna turn it down. Hold on, because I don't wanna scream anymore. I might have
That's
just
not gonna.
turned it up.
That's not gonna turn it down.
I don't know, man. I'm
Um,
just trying to do something. All right, so
no, go off.
um I don't know if anybody is a UFC fan here, but
No.
I love MMA. I love MMA. I've been doing MMA for a very long time. Been training for a very long time, and there was a fight this past weekend with Israel Adesanya. If you don't know Israel Adesanya, he is a master striker. He's incredible at what he does. He's definitely one of the best to ever do it. At this moment, he's had over 100 like kickboxing fights. He's had boxing fights, and now he's had over 20 something MMA fights, and he's almost undefeated. He lost one because he chose to move up in weight. So this is where it gets kind of spicy. He just had a fight defending his title. Yeah, no, right? I believe he's defended his title for the sixth time now or something like that. And the person that's fighting his weight class literally came from kickboxing and is in UFC now. He's the only person to ever knock him out. Or like, and this is a bad knockout. Like, this guy has hands of stone. He's incredibly talented when it comes to kickboxing and shit like that. And he knocked out Israel Adesanya with like a one shot and had him stiff as a board. And he also won another fight that they had pretty much with each other, and it was close. Well, the first fight was close, and the second fight he just knocked him flat out. Now he's in the UFC, and he's a contender now to fight Israel Adesanya. His name is Alex Pereira. He's a contender to fight Israel Adesanya now, and they're fighting on the same card. And the person that he was fighting knocked him out cold. And the funny thing is that at the conference, they're talking shit, whatever. You're supposed to talk shit to your person, the person that you're supposed to be fighting. The guy that was fighting Alex Pereira starts talking shit to Israel Adesanya, calling him names and shit like that, like a bunch of like just being very homophobic towards him. Not that Israel Adesanya is gay, but he had like his nails painted and shit like that, and he was just going at him, talking shit to him. Israel Adesanya's response was, "Hey, you need to pay attention to this guy." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you want me to pay attention to this guy that knocked you the fuck out, blah blah blah." He's like, "Yeah, you need to pay attention to him. Focus on your fight because he's gonna do the same exact thing to you." And that's how it played out. So definitely one of the highlights. It's getting real hot in here. I really need to see this next fight. Feels like a WWE type of theme going on, so it's gonna be dope. And Alexander the Great Volkanovski won his trilogy against his opponent, and I mean, it's just an eventful weekend for MMA. Hope you guys liked it. Had my little rundown. What do you guys think about the Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira? Do you think that he's ready for it? Do you think that they should fight? Who do you think should be the next fight for him? Hit us up in the comments below, or let us
Hit
know.
you up.
Hit us up in the comments below.
No,
So let's go on to the really fun stuff. The series recap.
my favorite.
Of course.
All right, well, we're starting off with Thor,
Hmm.
Love and Thunder. We're both gonna go see it this weekend. But
Absolutely.
so far, from what you've heard or from what you've read, what are your thoughts? Are you excited? Are you How you feeling before I go off?
Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Thor has the absolute best development of any character within the MCU. Out of and hey, hey, you told me to tell you my thoughts. You told me to tell you my thoughts.
Out of anyone,
Out of everyone, every single character.
I
Every single character. And I've thought about this. And I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you are thinking.
Yes.
Iron Man. What about Iron Man?
I was thinking about Iron Man and Wanda.
Wanda does not have character development.
What do you mean she does not?
Bro, she just turned more evil. Like, what are you talking about?
That is character development.
But she's not, she didn't have character development. She's
What do you-
literally, okay, let me break this down to you.
No, just go off on your Thor stuff.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, 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 no.
No, 'cause- no, just go off on your Thor stuff.
Like I said, okay, well, I'm just gonna highlight it in my spiel or my take.
Whatever.
Thor has had the best character development in the MCU period. Better than Iron Man. Because Iron Man's growth was established early on. It was established very early after the first Avengers movie. He's like, "Oh shit. I want to be a good guy. I don't just want to be I just don't want to be, arms dealer or something or arms creator, things like that."
That's Iron Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Iron Man.
You said after Avengers.
No, I'm saying after Avengers, that's when he had his growth moment where he's like, okay, I want to. It's true. He's like,
I was
want to
gonna
be a
say
good
Age
guy.
of Ultron.
No, because when he flew into the wormhole,
Yeah, when okay,
then he was like, I'm sacrificing myself for other people. Like this is who I want to be. I'm willing to die for people.
Okay.
And that's not who he was before.
And
that was his growth.
Sure. Okay. Let me just go ahead.
Now, Thor's has been wacky. Like super wacky. Like he was son of Odin. He's like pretty much just all buff and no brains. He doesn't really care about anything else but fighting. He's this guy that is just some hot dude that has a hammer, and that's his whole existence. Losing his hammer, pretty much the first Thor, it forced him to go through humility and being humble. When it came to like everything he's been through has been humbling him more and more and more. And he's gotten to a place where he not only cares about people everywhere, but he's turned into some like I think that in this movie is going to showcase how he's turned into somewhat of like a sage, like doesn't even want the violence anymore. He's just done with it.
I don't agree with that statement. I think he's going through. Okay, remember how Phase 4 right now has been all about mental health with Marvel? I think right now he's in this stage of coming out of his depression that he had in Endgame. Because if anything, I would say Infinity Wars and my favorite Thor is Infinity Wars Thor. But once again, that is my favorite movie.
Yeah.
But I think Endgame, we really got to see how bad he was. And when he got back from Asgard, where he had his whole moment with his mom, I think that was the eye-opener for him to get better. So I feel like right now, in this movie, he's going to be that Thor that's, okay, I'm getting back in shape. I'm getting back to being Thor. I'm gonna have the big ass hammer. Um, but I
The
think it's
third time he's
gonna.
going through character development. That's the third time he's going through character development. The third.
But I think that he's gonna potentially die in this movie.
I could see that happening. I could see that happening because I mean everybody else is pretty much dying. And it's more of like a where do you even take the character from here?
Hmm.
But there's also God Thor, and that's one of my theories. You get me? Because
Hmm.
God Thor is kind of like he literally just takes Odin's place
Yeah, yeah.
and assumes all the powers. He's just a leader, and that's where I think it's always been leading Thor to. It's to being a real leader, and a real leader knows humility. They know like when things aren't worth it. They know when to stop or when to fight. Like that's what I think this whole thing has been leading him to. Yo, are you good? Who's behind you?
No, it's my. I think it's my candle. Like it's at the end of it, so it made like that little psst noise. So I
um,
was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I was like, yo, you good?
Yeah.
I'll
So
call somebody. I don't know.
yeah, call somebody because I'm about to. What the fuck?
But
But
yeah, I
no, I
mean,
agree with what you're saying. I think that's where he's. I like. I hope he doesn't die,
yeah,
but I think that's where it's going. I'm interested to see who takes over for him because if it's Jane, like to me, it makes no sense. I would like to know how she is
I want
carrying
to know how
Mjolnir.
she is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But also,
Mhm.
where are the Guardians of the Galaxy going to be? Is this going to tie into their movie? How is that going to go about? Because from my understanding, Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be done.
I don't think that they're gonna tie into it because I think that's the big. I think when he leaves is pretty much gonna be the beginning.
Of Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, beginning of the movie. Like when he leaves them.
Oh, like it's gonna happen in the first half of the movie?
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
that's.
no, but I also feel like that's gonna connect into how Guardians of the Galaxy, like their movie starts.
I I hope so. I hope not. I hope not because there's not really much else for them. I don't know what else. You already like once. I think that Marvel has this like kind of like crutch is that once you make somebody once they stall a character or once they made a character a god, there's not really much you can go like much you could do from there. So you either stop making the movies, like for example, Star Lord, where he met his dad, realized he's a god. Like,
Oh no no no! We know that this is the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I'm
mhm,
pretty sure they're all gonna die, and like maybe Gamora, Nebula will survive, or Rocket or Groot. But I feel like
mhm.
the rest of the characters are done.
Yeah, I just want them to go back to just. I want them to just go to being cameos. Like, yo, I'm totally fine with them being cameos in
Oh,
other.
now you are?
No, I'm fine with them, those specific characters
Okay.
being
Okay.
cameos because I
Okay.
don't need any more character development from Star Lord. He was a piece of shit. Now he's not.
No
He
one likes
ruined.
him.
Nobody likes him because he like ruined the plan. He's caused
Yeah.
the blip. But like even so, we understand that he grew as a person. We get it. Like we don't really need to know much. Who are we gonna make? We already have the Baby Groot series or whatever coming out. Like
That's true.
I don't need anything else. I didn't want Baby Groot, but like I just don't need more. Like there's
Yeah.
no point.
Yeah.
So
Um yeah, I'm interested to see how it goes. I mean, from
yeah,
what I've read online that they've made a bunch of cuts. So a bunch of characters that were originally in it are no longer going to be in it.
yeah, that's
So that kind of makes me nervous because even though it's been getting good reviews, like the fact that it's one of the shortest Marvel movies first off.
yeah. It's an hour and
Mm,
59 minutes, and I'm just sitting there
mm.
like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so I'm kind of interested to see how it is, but I don't think I'm as hyped as I was for like Doctor Strange.
Yeah, but also you gotta understand, like Doctor Strange, Wanda was in Doctor Strange, so of course you're not gonna be as high. Thor, I think
But I
Thor,
like Thor.
I know, but I think he's one of your least favorite core like I think he's one of your least favorite like Infinity War, sorry, Age of Ultron like type of Avengers. Like within that, those Avengers up to that date, I think he's like one of your least favorites. Next to Captain America, of course.
No, I fucking hate Captain America.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I like Thor, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We will touch back on our thoughts on this movie.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know how it went, whether it was a total bust or if it was good. I just wanted to ask a quick question. What do you think
Me?
about? Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
What do you think about Miss Marvel?
yeah.
Huh?
Okay, no, let me say it because a lot of people are hating on it because it's Indian culture. And what we're not going to do is slander people's culture.
Absolutely.
So I thought the first two episodes were really good because they were interesting and they were more like a teenage kind of Spider-Man vibe where you're trying to figure out her powers and like how to use them. The next three episodes have been extremely slow paced to the point where, yes, one of the episodes we went to India, we got to explore the Indian culture. That's amazing to see on TV, especially for people of that country who don't get to see that as often. That first part of that episode was amazing. But then you kill off the villains immediately. Where is this story going? What is the storyline? And then somehow this is supposed to connect with Captain Marvel, who has yet to make an appearance in the season finale is the next week. And then you don't have end credit scenes.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. From the jump, I told J-Rock, I was like, I'm not watching it. I think it's gonna. Not even I'm not watching it. I was just like, it's gonna be trash.
I wouldn't say it's trash. I think it's just not good. It's not.
So what do you think that is?
No, because there's some Morbius is trash.
Okay. So
This is just
I
like
don't know why you're
bad.
taking shots on me. I don't know why you're taking shots at me, dog. I didn't even do nothing.
No, I'm just saying,
That
like,
is true.
the
Like,
first two episodes, I was like, okay, like if this is how the season's gonna go, then yeah, like I'm invested. But now I'm just watching it to see how this is gonna connect because there's nothing that I'm interested in. The main actress, I like her. She does a good part with being Kamala Khan. But overall storyline and like what was the point of this show, I don't get. But I felt the same way about Kenobi, and the last two episodes of Kenobi turned it around. But again, super slow pace. Was not a fan of that one
but
either.
then this is one of the things. It's the same thing as Kenobi. It's like, why are we waiting so long for these things? Like, what's the point? Like, why not just make this better? Like,
Yeah, and I feel like
faster.
with Kenobi it was more fan service
Yeah,
for the
but
older fans, which
exactly.
okay, yeah, they'll have their piece. But with Miss Marvel, like
That's
your
why.
attention was focused on the youth, yet you're not doing things that are interesting to the youth.
That's my.
Apart
That's
from the
what I
first two
was.
episodes.
That's what I was saying when I was letting you know. I was like, hey, look, I understand fan service, but you can't just have fan service and
But
rely
that's
on.
Star Wars.
That's that's my fucking point, though.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't. I knew I wasn't like, to me. That's why I knew I wasn't gonna like it, because I didn't. It felt very kiddish to me.
The
Which
first two episodes were like that, and I enjoyed it because it reminded me like of Spider-Man. But after that, I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching now?
Yeah.
Because it's
So
a mixture of like Inhumans and like I just don't know where the plot is going. And that annoys me a lot with shows because if I don't understand where we're going in it, why am I here?
I get you. Yeah. Makes 100. That makes 100% sense. And
100% sense.
100% sense. Makes 100% sense.
Okay.
So
All right, let's move on.
moving on to the black phone. So we both saw the black phone, right? Um, I don't even think we talked about it.
We have not, which is
We
why
have
I was
not.
surprised that
Oh
you said you
shit.
watched it. Cause
Yeah, I saw
yeah.
it. All right. So, what are your thoughts on it? What are
Oh,
your
you
thoughts?
want me to go first?
Please. Oh, please.
I told you.
Ladies first.
Okay, I liked the movie.
Mhm.
Um, I thought the way that I knew what the plot was, like the plot twist was when it happened the first time. Um, do you remember what the plot twist was?
Uh, no.
Are we gonna do a spoiler alert?
No, this movie's fucking been out forever. If you haven't seen it now, then you're not gonna see it.
Okay, well, when the brother was his brother,
Hmm?
when he's the brother of the serial killer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I caught that on immediately, and I was like, oh shit, that makes sense. But overall, I thought it was good. I thought there were certain parts where they used horror in a different way
Mm-hmm.
because it was very like supernatural,
Yeah.
more supernatural than I expected.
But yeah,
Um,
got you.
but the way that it was acted out like made it even more intense because
Yeah.
there were scenes where like the person sitting next to me jumped, and I was like, oh, this is yeah. And I did like a couple jump scares where I was like, oh, but um, yeah, I liked it overall. I would definitely go watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, definitely recommend it for sure. And I think we'll see where it ends up at my end of the year top 10 movies.
Yeah. I think that that's a really good it's a really good synopsis. I myself thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. Um because of a few key things.
Okay.
These are the things that I liked. I really, really liked that it was a super unique idea.
Mm-hmm.
I never experienced like the simple parts where they kind of like showed you how he would like go ahead and kidnap them. That was fire to me because I was like shit, like even when he sprayed the shit in their mouth and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I was like this is dope. And I like the supernatural aspects of it as well because they didn't overdo it. You
Mm-hmm.
get me?
Yeah, yeah.
They
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 didn't
didn't
make it. Yeah.
they didn't make it just that, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, just supernatural. Like no, they added like wit to it, like how the kid like had to figure out. They made it a puzzle. They made it fun for us in those senses. Now, aside from that, I didn't I didn't really like the I didn't like how they treated the characters. I liked the villain. I'm telling you,
Oh yeah,
he,
no.
the
Ethan Hawke killed
Ethan
it. Yeah.
Hawke is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know where he's been, but he's
Well,
just been.
he was just in Moon Knight and
I
he
know
killed
he
it
was
in
in
Moon
Moon Knight.
Knight.
That's what I'm saying. That I don't know
Yeah.
where he's been, but he's been snapping. Like
Yeah.
the the way that he played that villain made me so creeped out. And when he
Cuz
would switch his mask, I feel him switch. Like I was like,
his
yo,
personality was switched too.
yeah,
Yeah. But my thing, I think my question from the whole movie was like, why was he kidnapping them? Like,
that's
what?
my point.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
hate those holes. Like it didn't
Mhm.
make any sense to me in that. Like after
Like,
that,
what were his intentions with kidnapping them? Because was it just
exactly.
killing them, or was he like doing other things to them? Because remember, one of the kids was like, "Oh, you have to play along with the game.
Yeah,
If you don't play along with the game, then this isn't going to go anywhere." And
exactly.
that's why, yeah, no, I agree with you on that. That was like one of the things where I walked out and I was like, hmm.
That's a huge plot hole. Like to me, it's a
Mm-hmm.
huge hole because I'm like, dude, you literally have this very well acted serial killer. You have this like super deep. You have everything being super deep about how he goes about his kidnappings, how he does these things, but you're not going to tell me who he is or why he's doing it. And like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like they fell short when it came to that. Now, what I will say no, another thing that I didn't like about it is I don't know where the fuck these powers came from. I don't like not knowing how things happen. Like I know that she got it from her mom, but I'm like, okay, but where did this shit come from? Are you just gonna say, oh, I don't know, my mom's crazy, so whatever, I'm crazy. Like,
It could
no,
be like what is that called? I don't know. Remember that era too? Like it was the 60s and 70s, so all that psychedelic
yeah,
stuff
but
was.
see, that's what I don't want to guess.
No,
Just
I
tell
get you.
me.
I get you. I get you. I get you. I
So
get you.
those are the issues I had. Just fleshing out the characters more,
Mhm.
and but everything else, like I was like, yo, this is a dope movie. Like I was having a good ass time.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I liked it.
so now this is you, all you,
Oh, me?
all
You
you.
watched it too.
Damn right, but I want you to go
All
first.
right. Stranger Things 4 is the best season of Stranger Things. I said what I said.
No disagreement here.
Okay,
No
cool.
disagreement.
Overall thoughts. I thought it was fire. I love all the connections that they made with season 1, how he controlled the Demigorgons, the Demidogs, the Mind Flayer from season 2 and 3. It's now we know where it all started from. Now we know how all the seasons connect. Now we know who the main villain, the person pulling the strings, like amazing. And the fact that for me, my favorite episodes were episodes 4, 7, and 9. 4 was the Dear Billy one, which I think Max was just amazing and killed it. Episode 7 is the one where the big plot twist where we find out that he's one, and then we find out that he's also Vecna and Henry. And that to me left that whole month that we had to wait for the next 2 episodes. I was just like, holy shit. Like the way that they connected it all, those plot twists were crazy. Even though
Yeah,
I knew that he was one. I caught that one
you
immediately.
caught it.
But
I didn't
yeah,
catch
I
it.
did. I caught it. But then
Okay.
the rest of them, those were like, that's when I was screaming.
How early did you catch it?
As soon as he put the ball in 1, remember when 11 was trying to get it, like using her mind to get it into the number 3, and she kept missing it and landing on 4?
Damn,
And
you're better than me.
he grabs it, and he's like, me and you, we're not that different. And he puts it on 1. And then I screamed, oh shit, he's 1.
Yeah,
And then later on, when he revealed it, like when he was like, we're not that different, like afterwards, and he like starts revealing it, I started screaming, oh, he's 1, he's 1, he's 1, he's 1. And then boom.
but did you know that he was Vecna?
No. I didn't know he was Vecna. I had a feeling that he might have been Henry. I didn't know he
Okay.
was Vecna, but when those like the whole storyline where he's showing Nancy the Henry storyline, and
Mhm.
then where 11 makes him Vecna, that beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful. That shit was crazy.
that was fire. Because I was thinking about it, and I was like, all right, well,
How's it all gonna make sense? And then boom,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
yeah,
The
and
way
then
they put it together.
episode 9, where we start figuring out his whole plan, the 4 dings of the clock, the 4 deaths. Then you look at the season 4 poster, and they're all in 4 different realms.
Mhm.
And at first, people are like, "Oh, it's just because it's season 4." No, it all connected. It all was
Yeah,
meant to be.
that was pretty dope. That was pretty
I
fun.
have
Like
nothing else to say.
I loved where it went. And again, literally last podcast, I was like, I'm not a Stranger Things fan, and then
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. I caught up and I finished the seasons. So that's a great show. It's a great show. I I think that the whole the whole thing, like I'm glad it didn't end it. I'm glad they didn't end it at this season
Yeah, no, we definitely need a
because
season 5.
it would have been rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Because we would have needed to. There's so many loose ends that we need to tie up.
Well, here's the other thing. I feel like the reason why this is also my favorite season is because this is the Infinity Wars
Yeah.
of Stranger Things, because it's the first time we
Okay.
lose where 11 couldn't save Max.
Yeah, she wasn't the
11,
strongest in the
yeah,
room.
11 couldn't stop Vecna from still opening the Upside Down.
That's true.
And then in the ending, where they're walking towards the new red glow that's coming out of
Mhm.
Hawkins, that's when I was like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah,
So to me, like, that was my Infinity Wars oh shit moment.
it had that feel. That's
Yeah.
and which is great because we were all happy. We were like, "Yay!
Yeah, yeah, you know.
Hopper's back!
Yeah.
It's a wrap. We're good."
Max is not dead.
Yeah, and
No,
I
that
mean,
was
it wasn't all that. Well, speaking of Max, what do
mhm.
you think?
Okay, so here's my theory. Or not my theory, but a theory I read on Reddit that I was like, okay, I can see this. I don't think Max is dead. Obviously, like 11 brought her back to life or restarted her heart, but I don't think she's dead. I think Vecna took her soul, which is why when 11 went into her mind to see where she was at, she didn't find her. Um, but I also think that just like Billy was used to be the embodiment of the Mind Flayer, I think
Mm-hmm.
Vecna's going to use Max to
Damn.
be his new body. And I think, well, they already said, the Duffer Brothers said that Will is going to play a key part because we started with Will in season 1, and now we're going to end with Will in season 5. But I have a feeling that Will is going to be the villain.
I could see it. I can see it happening because it's clear that he likes Mike and
Mm-hmm.
things like that, and emotions have a huge part to play. And I'm almost sure that he has powers. Like we talk about it all the time.
He has to because he always grabs her
Yes,
back. He
exactly.
has the feeling, so he's still connected somehow, and
He's still connected.
he's the only one that survived in the Upside Down and come back to
Yeah.
regular.
So to me, it's like I'm almost sure that he has powers, and if we know that emotions pretty much run these powers, his emotions for Mike, his emotions of abandonment, him feeling like there's nobody, and I have a feeling that his brother might
Die.
die
Yeah, I think a
because
bunch of
that's
them are
the
gonna.
only yeah that's the
I
only way
think
to
Mike
tie
is
a
gonna die
dance.
too.
You think Mike is gonna die? I think they need Mike alive. I think they need Mike alive to have something to, because that would give Will something to fight for.
But Mike doesn't feel the same way.
That's my point. So him not feeling the same way, they're gonna need him alive for him to not feel the same way and tell him like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And then
No, but
he's,
I feel like eventually he's gonna die
I
in
get you.
season 5.
Or
But
El's gonna die.
I mean, if Elle dies in season 5, it makes sense.
Yeah,
But I feel like for her, it's gonna be like a self-sacrifice instead of like
yeah.
her just getting killed off.
No, no, no. I don't think she's gonna get killed off. I think that it would definitely be like for the greater good type of thing.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Max becomes the embodiment of Vecna, and Will maybe the Mind Flayer or the opposites.
Yeah,
But I feel like those are gonna be key members of the story in season 5.
I could see Will being bad, being
Mm-hmm.
converted to Vecna, being like his underling, and then
Mm-hmm.
converting back.
Yeah,
But he
someone
might be
breaking
defeated.
him back into being Will. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
No, I'm excited. I think
yeah,
they
it's a
they killed it.
they did a great job. 10 out of
Yeah,
10. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for sure.
All right. So, guys, we're gonna take a quick intermission. We're gonna be right back, and we're going to get into our special topic. So stay tuned. This is the J Squared Podcast. Hey, welcome back to the J Squared Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed our new intermission. We have been. Hey, look. All right. I don't know if it's real Spanish or not.
No.
I'm just saying stuff. But
Okay.
definitely, we want to go ahead and jump into our special topic, which are the SCOTUS decisions. Now, as you all know, there's been a lot of fucking changes going on in America, and we kind of want to address them and give our 2 cents on what we think is going on and why we think things are going on and how we feel about them. So let me go ahead and take it from the top with the abortion issue.
Mm.
So Roe v. Wade has been overturned. This hands the decision of abortion rights back to the states 6-3. What that kind of means is that women no longer have the complete right. They're not protected by the government when it comes to getting an abortion. They're not protected. So it's up to the states and the legislation of the states to say, hey, this is not a federal thing. This is kind of like a state by state thing. So if this state says you can't get an abortion at all, then you're stuck. And if this state says, you can last as long as you want and get an abortion whenever you want, then that's fine. So it's kind of, to me, it's a negative. I mean, how do you feel? Do you have more information that you want to go ahead and give out?
Um, Once this was passed, a couple of states immediately banned abortion from their states. So it makes it difficult for anyone who is trying to get an abortion, whether it's because they don't want the baby or because it's not safe for them to have the baby. They are no longer able to get it, and doctors are being put in difficult situations because if it's banned from the state that they work at, but it's needed to save someone's life, then they have to contact a lawyer to figure out if they're even able to, you know, talk to the patient and be like, yeah, we're going to do this abortion. But yeah, it's a pretty difficult situation as a doctor to be in, also as a woman, because it's just shitty. It's just shitty. There's no winning here because you're taking away women's rights. And the fact that, like, this Ohio case, a 10-year-old was freaking raped by her father, and they wouldn't let her get an abortion. They wanted her to go full term with the baby. A fucking 10-year-old. She had to drive to another state to get the abortion, a state that allows you to have abortions.
This is that's fucking sick. It's sick, and it's like
A 10-year-old, like, you expect a 10-year-old to carry a baby. A
you think
10-year-old
of,
who's probably still in elementary school.
yeah, like what the fuck? And it my thing has always been like, what is your obsession with another person's body? Regardless, it's not your body. It's just not like what is you're not like we have already established scientifically, and a lot of people they want to bring their religion into it. No, we've established scientifically that this is not
100%.
a person.
Which is
Like
why I am for separating state
church
and
and state.
church.
That's the problem, man. Like people keep trying to reinforce their religions
I,
on other people's like lives. You can't do that.
Not
That's why
their
we have freedom of
religion. They want us all to be Christians,
ex-
and we're not. And the fact that you're not allowing the rest of us to choose what we want to do, especially women.
it's sad, and I mean I apologize for you, man, because this is a complete like I don't know. It's just trash. Like that's trash.
Yeah. All right. Next SCOTUS decision. So it's the New York guns. So they determined that the Second Amendment applies to concealed carry in public, and that New York's proper cause law to carry a weapon for self-defense was in violation of the amendment. So basically, it's saying that you could open carry or carry your concealed weapon in public um, for any type of reason. So, like, if I were to go to the bus and you had your weapon on you, we're all good. If I were to get on a train and you have your weapon on you, then it's fine.
I just don't understand what the point of I
It's
don't.
just gonna cause more gun violence.
No, my biggest issue is that
And
I just don't understand what the point of concealed carry is. Like, why do you want to conceal it? Like, for what? To me, it sounds like you're trying to get into a problem and find a way out.
yeah, and it was
That's
also
how
voted 6-3.
it's bullshit. Like that. That to me is dumb. Like I'm honestly pro gun, but this doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, open carry. I'm about stuff like that, whatever. But like, I don't know why you would be okay with concealed carry. Like, for what? It, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. Year ago.
Oh yeah. So another SCOTUS decision. Environmental Protection Agency. The court ruled in favor of effectively stripping the EPA of the right to regulate toxic air pollutants. Pol-
Pollutants.
Pollutants. Yeah, I said it right. Look
You
at
just
me.
very like you went off of every syllable, which was very different.
Hey,
I mean, you said it right, so good job.
I'm getting better. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Um,
Jinx.
every single time. It'll never end. I think that, yeah, I don't understand what's going on. Like, I think, I
I
think about.
mean, not only are we getting fucked as women, but also now as an environment, knowing that climate change is happening, you want to not protect our air.
Like, is
It's also 6-3. Damn, I hit the mic again. It's also 6-3.
yo, I don't want, I want problems always. That's literally SCOTUS right now. They just want
Yeah.
fights, bro. Like, no, we want issues.
We want all the smoke.
Right? Yo, I think they do want all the smoke, and that's what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. All
Shit.
right. Let me just the one good news, I guess, from their
Okay.
decisions. It's on immigration. So they decided that Biden administration is allowed to end the Trump era Remain in Mexico program. So the program forced asylum seekers to be detained in the U.S. or stay in Mexico while they wait for their immigration hearings. And most of these immigrants are Central and South American immigrants. So this is a huge win because now this program won't be forced for them. But it was a 5-4 win. It was a very tight.
Yeah, that's very close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a good one, but I'm really sick of I hate, like, I'm sorry, but these are all important issues, but that wasn't to me the most important thing.
No, I agree.
You get
It's
me?
a little taste of victory, but like we're still getting fucked.
And I get sick of the whole idea where it's like, well, we can't win them all. It's like, no, we need to
We
win
need to
these. Like,
win.
this is not cool.
Yeah.
You're infringing on our rights. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's sad, man. But I mean, at least we. I hate. No, I'm not saying. I refuse to say that anymore. At least we got something. I'm
No.
sick of that. That's the whole mentality that people have for voting. Oh, well, lesser evil. Fuck that. I'm never voting again on camera. I'm never voting again unless this candidate appeals to my interests in all ways. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Because this is bullshit.
Well, I guess you're never voting.
Damn right. So, another SCOTUS decision, innocence. The court ruled that individuals incarcerated on the state level have no constitutional right to present new evidence in the federal court to support their claims of wrongful conviction. What the fuck is going on, bro?
Also 6-3.
Yo, man, this is
So
ridiculous.
as I was writing these down,
No
plus the
wonder.
Ximena Needs To Know. Now you understand why I had to play music in the background because there's
Shout
no
out
way.
depression, bro.
There's no way.
Depression.
Yeah.
This is crazy. So it's like, if I go ahead and I'm like, oh, actually, I'm not guilty. This lady just lied about whatever happened. Oh. Oh, you're already here, so you might as well say it.
Might as well,
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sad because that literally means like
Innocent people are in jail,
yeah,
in prison. Yeah. And they can't get out.
and they can't get out now because it's like
Yeah. Well, it
wow,
sucks to suck. Keep putting money in my pocket with these private jails and the jail system, but that's a topic for another day.
right? Literally.
Yeah.
Go
All
ahead.
right. The Miranda rights is the next one. So the court ruled that a person cannot sue a law enforcement officer under federal civil rights laws for violating their Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination if the officer did not provide a Miranda warning. 6-3. Again.
So, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
If the cop doesn't read me my Miranda rights,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go ahead and I say some shit,
Mm-hmm.
that don't matter. Pretty much.
So basically, what they're saying is don't talk to the police. Ask for a lawyer. Ask for a lawyer. Ask for a lawyer. Because if not, you're fucked.
They just said they're called Miranda rights, and they're just pretty much
Miranda who?
Miranda, who Miranda? Who Miranda? Tell me who she is, because I don't know.
So yeah.
This is a joke.
Oh, we're not. Yeah, we're almost finished.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So, indigenous sovereignty. The courts ruled that the states can prosecute non-natives who commit crimes against indigenous communities within indigenous reservations. This is a direct threat of indigenous sovereignty.
5-4.
So, what does that mean? Because I just don't get it.
So, from what I understood is that if they are in their... Okay, hold up. I am not sure what this means.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody can explain that to us, I mean, go ahead. I think it's a positive thing, honestly.
No, it's not a positive thing.
It's not. Are you sure?
Yeah.
States can prosecute non-natives who commit crimes against indigenous communities within indigenous reservations.
I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but from what I've read, it's not a good thing. So we'll get back to that.
We'll have to look into it. We'll have to like you guys are gonna have to tell us. We're gonna have to like we need you guys for that one.
All right, you skipped one, so I guess I'll read it.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the last one, but it's 2 cases that were both 6-3. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, nice.
Religion. So the first one was Carson versus Macon. I don't care. The court held that the state of Maine is required to fund religious education at private religious schools as part of their state tuition assistance program.
Okay.
That was one. Here's number 2, the kicker. Kennedy versus Bremerton. The court held that a high school football coach in Washington praying on the field after a football game was protected speech under the First Amendment.
Okay. The first one, it's funding for private schools. I mean, I don't even know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how I feel about that one. I really don't know how I feel about that one.
I think they're both wrong.
I'm leaning towards wrong, but
I think the tricky part for that one is because it's a private school.
I think the tricky part to me is that it's a private school, is the religious part.
Yeah, both of them is the religious part for me.
Yeah. No, I mean the religious part from the private school. Like that's what is kicking me when it comes to Maine. Like when it comes to providing like funds or required to fund religious education at private schools. I mean, I don't know, because that could mean that doesn't have to be just Christian. You get me? That could be any religious funding for.
That's not true.
I'm trying to be optimistic, man. Do you see this list, bro? What are you doing?
Oh, it's gonna get worse in Ximena Needs To Know, so just prepare
No,
yourself.
man. Why are we doing this? Okay.
But the second one, to me, I'm not surprised because being like us being from the South,
Yeah.
and when I lived in Georgia and I had to officiate, we had to pray before each game.
Yeah.
And to me, it's different because like it wasn't only at private schools; it was also at public schools.
Yeah.
So I got used to it. I thought it was normal until I had a law class, and it's not something that's legal. So the fact that SCOTUS is deciding that this specific case is legal because it's protected under the First Amendment kind of opens it up to a whole different world of, oh, okay, so much for separating state and church. We're doing the complete opposite where we're letting church rule our laws.
Yeah.
So
That's
this decision could change a lot of other decisions that have tried to separate it. So this is like one of those like Roe v. Wade's that we need to pay attention to.
You know what? And there's gonna be some harsh backlash to that one. I can't wait till everybody needs to do this. All you coaches out there need to go ahead and bring your mats, roll them out on the floor.
But that's the thing,
mat.
though. That's the thing. You know damn well that they're going to say, oh, no, not that religion, only this religion, which is going to be the Christian religion.
I'm going to fight that shit. I would fight that shit.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. But I'm just...
Like, no, don't. You're literally forcing a religion. I can't wait till everybody who believes in the crystals and the moon, I want all of you guys to start praying to the sun as soon as y'all hit the football field. Like, I want all of this stuff to happen. Because then people are going to understand, oh, well, I thought religion was just Christian. No. No, this shit, it's bullshit and it sucks. It really sucks.
Yeah, so we'll leave it on that note where we just feel like shit. So
that was funny.
America.
I hate this.
Yeah.
But it's all the more reason to go ahead and be vocal, man. Like, be vocal. Like, damn, I hate that I have to say it. The only solution I have is get your money up, bro. Like, that's like, because you have to be able to flee this situation. And the only way that a lot of people can flee the situation is through financial freedom. Like, if you're able to leave this
disagree,
country,
but okay.
Hear me out. If you're able to leave this country and live in a place that's, because a lot of other countries, they are going ahead and they're more progressive. Like, if you can go to Canada, head out.
I don't agree with your statement at all.
Amen.
Voting
is doing nothing. Voting
is doing nothing.
So what are we gonna do? What are we doing? You get me?
You got to start somewhere.
It can't be a start because it's not working. Like, they don't give a fuck about our votes. They don't give a fuck about us. They're taking away our bodies.
I agree with you.
Like, it's, bro.
I agree with you, but it has, like, I would say it still has to start with voting. So voting, protesting. No, we didn't win. Voting, protesting. Look, all of it.
This is what happened.
The change has to start somewhere, but like fleeing from the problem is not helpful.
Hear me out. This is the thing. I'm not moving, but I wouldn't blame somebody if they did. Because what happened is that they told us to go out and vote. We did. They told us to vote for a specific president. We did. The president promised that he was going to protect all these rights being violated. He did not.
No, we're getting over time right now, but these aren't his decisions. These aren't the people that he put. No, these aren't the people that he put in there. These are the people that Trump put in there. The thing is, instead of us using the same format that Trump did, we're trying to keep it clean. We're trying to be better. No, you have to beat the people the same way that they did it.
And guess what? They're not doing that. That's my problem.
No. I agree with you on that part.
This is what he can do. He can go ahead and expand the seats in Congress and fill them with people who have common sense, younger
And he could
people.
kill the filibuster too. He could do a
He could
lot of
kill the
things,
filibuster.
but
He could shorten the terms of,
yeah,
no, but he's not doing it. So that's why I'm fucking pissed, because I'm like, yo, why would I stay here? You're not doing anything. You're not.
I
Because
just
those are
want to
things he has
I
control
just
over.
fight. No, I agree with you, but I would fight it.
I
But
get you. I get you.
yeah,
You're a fighter. But fuck it,
I
man.
love
Like
my
I I love my country, man, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, bro, stop giving me reasons to dislike this place.
Yeah, no, I agree
They
with you.
don't
But
value us. They're not
no,
valuing
I
us.
don't. I don't. But yeah, that's
So
that's what we do.
that was our special topic. So moving on to everybody's favorite, Ximena needs to know. I'm not going to
Starting off
explain
on a good
it.
note either. All right. So fuck it. Let's just
Welcome
go
to the
right into
JaySquared
it.
Podcast depression version.
Depression,
Depressing
chapter
version.
depression.
Chapters depression.
Yeah,
Okay.
that should be the
No, that should
title.
be the name.
Yeah.
Yo.
That'll be it. All right. So we're gonna start with
Yeah.
U.S. shootings because America.
Yeah.
Where would we be without a fucking shooting?
Right? Where would we be? Well, I'll tell
Alright.
you. For the July parade shooting, pretty much a gunman opened fire on a holiday parade in Chicago, in the suburbs of Highland Park. On Monday morning, he killed 7 people. Well, yeah, he killed 7 people and injuring dozens more. The suspect shooter was taken into custody.
Suspected shooter.
Same thing.
No.
The suspected shooter was taken into custody after an hours-long manhunt. Police said that the shooter has planned the attack for weeks and that he dressed in women's clothing and hid his face tattoos in order to flee the scene after the attack. The shooter was planning multiple attacks, one after another, for Wisconsin. Also, he had a criminal history, which police see 16 knives, a dagger, and a sword from his house in September 2019. And of course, they did not find that as reason enough to arrest him.
Oh, and they peacefully arrested him, this highly dangerous person.
Oh, you thought they were going to do something? Oh, you thought they
No,
were
not
going
at
to
all.
actually... No.
No, not at all. As soon as I saw the mugshot, I was like, oh,
He looks
this person is staying alive. But yeah, going into the Jalen Walker shooting, which happened on June 27th in Akron, Ohio. So Akron police attempted to pull over 25-year-old Jalen Walker for a traffic violation. He refused to stop, and then officers chased his vehicle for several minutes, claiming that shots were fired at them from his car. Eventually, Walker slowed down and fled from the car, and police pursued him on foot in a parking lot. They tried to disarm him. He was unarmed during the chase after he exited his car, and then police tried to unsuccessfully attempted to stun him, use like the stun guns and stuff like that. And then, since that didn't work, they proceeded to shoot him 90 times. 60 of those shots hit his body and killed him. And then after he was dead, police decided to handcuff him because being dead isn't enough. So the case has been ruled a homicide. 8 officers were involved. Seven of them are white. And they've all been put in paid administrative leave, which is the usual when there's a cop shooting, or when cops are shooting, black people. And the body cam footage was released. I did not watch it. I don't recommend you watching it. And it sparked a bunch of protests in Akron, Ohio. But there's apparently, and I didn't write this, but there's apparently another clip that the family has seen that proves that what the officers did was worse than how worse this is already. But they don't want to release it.
Of course. I mean, it's the same story, bro. It's the same thing over and over. And then people ask us why we don't trust police. Yeah. It makes sense. Oh my god,
But
that's
yeah,
so
I
funny.
think the thing that people are saying is like, oh well, an unarmed black man is so scary that you shoot him 90 times, but a dude who literally just did a mass shooting, you're able to
There's
with
somehow a
to to
way to.
to talk to them, to arrest them in a peaceful, non-threatening way, even though this person is dangerous and has multiple weapons on them and
Bro,
just
it
killed a bunch of people. Make it
just
make
killed
sense.
people. Like that's what's killing me. It's like traffic violation versus just killed people.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna take in peacefully? I swear, if we ask aliens this question, they'll just look at us like we're all fucking crazy.
Yeah,
That's
well, here's the we continue. Let's continue. The
the Uvalde
Uvalde
shooting.
shooting. Hmm.
Pretty much, there's an update for the Uvalde shooting. Officers waited an hour and 15 minutes to enter the classroom where the shooting took place. Officers assumed the classroom door was locked, but none of them ever checked. So, fucking shocker. The door was outward opening and could only be locked from the hallway. So the gunman couldn't have locked himself inside the classroom. Tools that could have opened the doors were available to officers as early as 12:35 p.m. Despite
Sorry.
this,
Yeah, PM.
despite this, doors were not opened until 12:50 p.m. A Uvalde officer asked for a supervisor's permission to shoot the gunman, who would soon kill 21 people before he entered the building. But the supervisor did not hear the request and responded too late. This is not fucking acceptable.
And the worst part is that they lied about everything.
They
They
lied about
said
every part of it.
every part of it. They said
Uh,
that, oh, yeah, he barricaded himself so we couldn't get in. Bullshit.
we weren't stopping people from getting the. You were stopping people from getting your
Yeah.
kids.
We
Oh,
didn't
we
have the
didn't wait.
tools to open the door. We had to wait for the key to open the door. We didn't know he got into the school. We didn't know how many people. We didn't know what room he was in.
No cops got their own kids out of the school. Like, bro, this is
We didn't have a clear view to take him out. We were worried that blah blah blah. Yo, no, you guys failed at your fucking job, and then you try to cover it up, but you have children's blood in your hands
on your hands.
to the point where they're gonna freaking knock down the whole school because no one wants to go back. But hey, because it's a predominantly Hispanic school, why would they care?
Why? Why? Wild.
Yep. So that is the end of all our shitty, depressing news.
Yeah.
Ximena. All right.
I'm sorry.
Let's
that
move
you're
on.
nice.
I'm not. This is the dystopian world that we're living in. So let's end on a couple good notes.
Oh,
I got you. So New York lawmakers, because I'm in New York, but in response to the SCOTUS ruling earlier that we read, New York lawmakers have passed a bill banning guns in many designated sensitive locations. So the concealed carry weapon thing.
mm-hmm.
So these locations include airports, subways, trains, buses, and ferries, as well as government buildings, houses of worships, schools, libraries, public playgrounds, public parks, homeless shelters, zoos, polling places, bars and restaurants, and Times Square.
That's how you get the ass. That's how you get the ass. He said, "What? Oh no."
Mm-hmm.
Uno reverse.
Uno reverse this bitch. But yeah, the bill goes
Yeah.
into effect on September 1st of this year.
But this is gonna cause a lot of issues because a lot of people ain't gonna know what the fuck their laws are. But that sounds like your problem. Do your research.
Yeah. And then the last one I'll read because I'm pretty sure you don't know how to say it.
Yeah, you damn right.
So this is Onondaga Nation. This is
okay.
I'll tell you later. But 1,000 acres of forest will be returned to the Onondaga Nation in a historic lake cleanup agreement. The nation will be given 2 heavily forested parcels, one at the headquarters of Onondaga Creek which is considered sacred by the nation. And this is one of the largest land transfers made in the United States, and the first time that land has been returned directly to a New York tribe.
Yo, that's lit.
Yeah.
It's not so bad.
Yep.
Psych, it's terrible.
It's
but
terrible, but
there are good things happening, and that warms
Yep.
my soul. And
that is
luckily,
Ximena Needs To Know.
yeah, that is Ximena Needs to Know. Jesus Christ. Yo, I'm sweating. That was an ordeal. Why did we
I
choose
don't have
this
any more
topic?
water.
Yo, for real, bro. So
I think we needed to choose this topic because the people needed to know.
it was an important thing to talk about.
Yeah.
And in all seriousness, guys, I mean, definitely go ahead and vote. My personal choices, please don't take them as your personal choices.
I mean,
But
if you feel the same way, then yeah, you could.
if you feel the same way, do your thing. But this is coming from a place of love. Everybody be safe. Do what you gotta do to protect yourself, your families, even mentally. Go out and seek help, seek therapy, because there's a lot of shit going on, and we understand. And somebody else is gonna understand you. So, a couple of things that we want to go ahead and get off our chest. We got merch. We got merch designs. All right.
Hey,
don't quote me. Don't get too excited. All right, but we do have merch designs coming soon. We're gonna probably make a post about it once we can agree about some specifics.
I think we should make a poll.
Oh, I like the fire in that. Well, that's good. That's good. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and give out some design tidbits, and you could go ahead and let us know what you think is fire and what you think is not, and we'll have that available. I mean, and this just goes out to this is just because you guys are so awesome. You gave us the confidence to keep up, start this, keep it going. Like, we love doing this because you guys, put your ears to the fucking headphones and listen to us and shit like that, and it's just dope. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate that, and this merch is going to be a reflection of that. And go ahead about the next news. This is so exciting.
The next news, if you guys haven't been on our Instagram page or Facebook page, we were lucky enough to do an interview with Voyage MIA, which is a website and a magazine that focuses on Miami talent. And it was an amazing surprise that we got through email, especially when they decided to reach out, because we were both like, yo, what? So it was pretty sick. We enjoyed doing the interview. We're so happy that it's out. You could go ahead and read it. Link is in our bio. But we appreciate it, the support. It's awesome. It was pretty sick. And then showing it to like our friends and family, like that was even more
fire. Sick. It's like they're just like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, we don't know. We just don't know.
We don't. Yeah. So that was pretty sick.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. Shout out to Voyage MIA. Appreciate the support.
Shout out to you guys for letting the whole town know about us. This is lit. Yeah. We love it. Yeah. And next, I mean, I don't even know how to approach this one.
Shout out to our sponsors.
Yeah, shout out to our sponsors, I guess. Definitely want to go ahead and shout out to our main sponsor. I mean, it must be the best in the biz. It goes by a little name of J Markets, making its rounds. So J Markets, again, it's my social media management company. We go ahead and we help small businesses, raise to their potential when it comes to their social media presence. A lot of these people are taking advantage of you, and be honest with you, they're taking your money. They're not really doing much with it. They're not putting it into your company when it comes to your social media. Why not get somebody who cares about your product, somebody who cares and believes in you and loves your company as much as you do? We create your graphic design for you. We go ahead and we create your videos. We do a lot, and we have consistent posting, which is something that all businesses need nowadays. You need a schedule. People who watch you want to know when you're going to do something and what you're doing, and we take care of that for you. So if you guys do need social media assistance, go ahead and hit us up at J Markets.
That's right.
That felt
the
nice.
social media guru with his little 30 seconds of, let me explain what I do. I dig it. That was a good sale. Yeah, that was a good sale. Appreciate it.
Thanks. I do it all the time to like a bunch of people.
Good. Get that practice in. But yeah, check out J Markets. Link in bio.
And check out our Patreon. We definitely want to go ahead and highlight that. All of you guys who are up and coming artists who are doing things, making moves, hit us up.
Want to be on the podcast and just ask questions or promote whatever you want. Hit us
or
up
just
on
kick
Patreon.
it. We're down with it. Like, we do want you guys to be a part of the movement as much as possible. So we want to give that space to you guys, and just hit up our Patreon, check us out, see how you can get on, and we'll go ahead and take it from there.
Yeah, but that's the end of chapter 8.
Yeah, this has been the end of chapter 8, and as always, it's been amazing. Thank you guys. We love you guys, and this has been.
Hold up. Before you get there, one question: where is Jamie? And we'll end it there,
damn
Jay.
Well.
We'll end it there, Jay.
This has been the JaySquared Podcast.